Most gracious God, bless your word this day. Wherever it is heard, wherever it is preached, and most especially, wherever it is lived. Amen.
Amen.
So one of my best friends lives in a suburb of Washington, D.C., and wild beasts are showing up at her house on a regular basis. First, rats migrated from a condemned building to inhabit her kitchen, bedroom, and living room. But thankfully, after filling foundation holes and setting multiple traps, they're gone. But then a random chicken appeared in their backyard. The husband, thrilled, built a chicken coop. Totally illegal in a suburb of DC, but at least now they get one fresh egg a day. Finally, 2 weeks ago, Stacy arrived home from work and found a huge German Shepherd on her front stoop. Beautiful, well-fed, complete with a collar. My friend patted him and opened the door, but the dog wanted more. So pushing past her, he collapsed in her hallway and fell asleep. After his nap, the dog pawed the front door, Stacy opened it, and the dog disappeared. Now for several days, the pattern remained the same. The friend arrived home from work, the dog entered the home, took a nap, vacated the premises. On the third day, Stacy got savvy. She pinned a note to the dog's collar before his departure saying, "Owner of this beautiful animal, your dog comes to my house every day for a nap. Why?" The next day, the dog returned with a response that read, "This dog lives with 6 children, 2 under the age of 3, and needs regular time outs. Can I come with him tomorrow?" You know, when we read the Gospel of Mark, it is easy to become exhausted and want to take a nap. It's true that Mark takes the least effort to read. It's the shortest Gospel, only 16 chapters long. It can easily be read in one sitting, but the pace of this Gospel is so frantic, so frenetic. It is true that Matthew, Mark, and Luke are often grouped together and called the Synoptic Gospels. Synoptic, a word that means together sight. So those 3 Gospels are similar. They tell many of the same stories in the same order, and all 3 relay the incidents presented today in Mark's Gospel. These stories of John's ministry, Jesus' baptism, 40 days in the desert, Jesus' first preaching gig. But here's where the similarities end. For Matthew and Luke, they invest and spend 2 chapters covering all these events in great detail. Both Matthew and Luke describe just what went down in the desert. The 3 temptations, Jesus and Satan's witty repartee. And the Gospel of Luke even tells us exactly what passage from Isaiah Jesus read in the temple before he stood up and preached after his retreat. But Mark wastes no time on unnecessary words, excessive descriptions. Mark is marked by brevity. He boils John the Baptist's ministry, Jesus' baptism, his temptation, his first sermon, down to 12 verses. Henry David Thoreau preached, "Life is frittered away by detail, Simplify. Simplify. Many biblical scholars are frustrated by Mark's simple, bare-bone description of Jesus' spiritual beginnings. They see these lack of details as a curse. But why not reverse that attitude, turn it on its head, and instead see Mark's succinct, less is more view as a way to vision the world anew? How we wish we could be more like Mark. Mark is laser focused, stating clearly and dearly, with fewer words, what matters the most. First, Mark names and claims Jesus and us as beloved. Now there's something to focus on. Could we this Lent, rather than listen to the ugly, negative voices all around us, fixate instead on God whispering into our head the words of this gospel? I prefer the Message translation. You are my child, chosen, marked by love. Pride of my life. Wouldn't those words make us feel strong? How better would we feel and deal with our world if we defined ourselves first and foremost as beloved? Second, Mark tells us Jesus is driven by the Spirit. Jesus is driven by the Spirit. Question to ask this Lent: what are we driven by? Emotions? Success? Flattery? Security? Can we strive for God to drive our actions and reactions? Finally, Mark verse 15 tells us, again, Message translation, time is up. God's kingdom is here. Change your life and believe. Friends, now is the time, not tomorrow, not a week from now, not a year from now, to work for God's kingdom. To think on what our lives need less of and more of. Lent is really a rummage sale for our souls. It's a time to reflect and redirect ourselves towards what matters most. Oliver Wendell wrote, pretty much all of the honest truth-telling done in the world is accomplished by children. Pretty much all the honest truth-telling in the world is accomplished by children. You know, when I asked my 10-year-old daughter what I should work on this Lent, Fiona did not waste time or mince words. She put it to me straight. Shorter sermons, Mom. Shorter sermons. Gospel of Mark. Great Fiona. Thank you for reminding us that by striving for less, we can be blessed. Less access to automatic weapons. More children feeling safe and protected at school. Less political division, more national solidarity, less anger, more compassion, less stinginess, more generosity, less bigotry, more tolerance, less whining, more encouragement, less apathy, more energy, less fear, more hope, less hate, more love. Lord, help us fixate on at least one. Just get it done. Till all the jails are empty and all the bellies filled, till no one hurts or steals or lies and no more blood is spilled, till age and race and gender no longer separate, till pulpit, press, and politics are freed of greed and hate. God has more work for us to do.